Hi, I'm Tracy with Freckled Fairy Upcycle. Welcome to my channel. This is a place where I create wearable art from thrifted, vintage, or other textiles. I hope you enjoy. So I have two words, pink gingham and rickrack. How cute is this? There were two pillowcases at the thrift store, and I grabbed them up. They're this really awesome cotton. It almost feels like a linen cotton blend, but I don't know. It's a great texture. So we are going to make a shirt out of these. Both of these cost about $3, so I think that's a pretty good deal. So come along as I make this shirt. So first off, I'm going to figure out my measurements. I made this awesome white shirt out of, let's see, it was a duvet cover, it was a napkin, and it was a table runner. And I really like the fit of this, so I'm going to base my measurements off of this. I am a size medium, so if you're smaller or larger, just add or take away some inches. So I really like my tops loose, so you'll see at the end how it fits me, and then you can kind of base it off of that. Okay, so I'm going to do the neck opening about 8 inches. So, and then I'm going to add on my seam allowance as well. So just add on whatever seam allowance that you like to sew with. I usually do around 1/2 inch. So then the cut piece would be 9 inches. And let's see. The width of the full thing is going to be 24 finished. So I'll do 25 wide. I'm writing this down because I will forget. And then the length. Let's see. The finished length is 24. This already had its hem, but I'm gonna add some, let's see, I'm gonna add a couple of inches for the hem. So let's make that 27. And the length of the sleeve is 12. So, and then we'll add on what we need for the hem and the sewing. So another, I guess I'll say 3 inches, so 15. And then around, it's gonna be, see, 18 inches around, so I cut it 19 inches. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with that. So I want to use this as the neckline. So I had said 9 inches on that, right? As a cut piece, because finished 8. So then if this is going to be 24 across, then I need it to be 25 across. So let's see if we can figure out this math. I think then we'll have to make each piece 9 inches to get the finished width that I want. Because this will have a 1/2 inch on each side, so that's 9. And then this will need a 1/2 inch on each side, which is 9. And this will need a 1/2 inch on each side, which is 9. So then 9 times 3 is 27. And then take away 1, 2, 3 inches. And that is 24. So looking at this pillowcase, there's just one seam, side seam. So I'm going to open up this side seam and this bottom seam, and then I'll have the big piece of fabric to work with. So by opening this up, I actually have, it's 42 inches wide and it's 30 inches long. So we have a pretty good chunk of fabric to work with, and even better, I have 2 of these. This to be at the top, to be the neck. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it, well, I'm gonna cut it first, but then I'm going to fold that piece over twice so I can just sew through this. So there won't be like a seam. So I'll probably, I don't know, cut about 1 inch above where I want it, and then I can turn it, iron it, and then sew down this trim right here. Okay, so I thought about it, and I think I'm going to do the back the same as the front. So you need 2 of these at 9 by 20, and then 2 side pieces, 4 side pieces at, let's see, 9 by 26.5. And again, this is for a medium. I can figure it out that. And you also want to figure out if that's how long you want yours to be. Maybe you want it longer, maybe you want it more like a tunic. Actually, you could even make a dress out of this if you had a bigger piece of fabric. So, okay, now I have everything cut out, so it's ready to start sewing. I'm going to start with this front and back piece. Remember that they're the same. I'm going to turn the edge twice, ironing it, and having it end right on top of this seam where the trim is. So that way I can just sew through the trim, a straight stitch, and it won't show. So I'm going to do that first, and then after that we will adjust the sides, and then after that the sleeves, and then hemming and finishing everything. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the top part here. I probably should have hemmed it like I did the neck, but along the side before I sewed these together. I'm sure there's other better ways to do this, but I'm just gonna go with it and go ahead and open this seam up on the inside and then go ahead and hem it down. So I'm gonna do that on both sides and then repeat everything on the back. And then, okay, so what I think I'm going to do, I have this here. I think I'm going to fold this all over on itself like that. And then just continue this stitch I used to make the neck, just continue that all the way down, and it'll be a top stitch on the front, and it will resolve this situation in the back. Okay, that actually worked out perfectly. So you can see the inside is nice and clean, and then the front has a nice little top stitch, and it turns out really cute. I really like that. So I just have to rinse and repeat and do it on the back. So to put the sleeves on, I'm going to find the center of the sleeve. Okay, and then we know that the center of the arm is up here. So I'm just gonna do right sides together, center to center, and sew a straight stitch, and do this on both sides. Okay, so now all you have to do is we fold it back together, right sides together. Here's where the sleeve is, and then you're just gonna stitch around the edge, and then you will hem the bottom, and then you're done. So I took a little break from making this because I wasn't completely feeling it. So when I came back to work on it, I decided that it just needed something else. So I cut it off like right above my waistline. And I'm gonna use this, I have a toile sheet that I'm gonna use to put a ruffle on the bottom. I think it'll be really cute. And what's great about this is that I won't have to hem it, excuse me, because it has the hem. So I'm gonna use that end. I'm gonna measure how long I want my ruffle to be, and then I will put it on the bottom of the shirt. I just cut it the full width of the sheet, and then I'm gonna do the lazy girl gather. So I'm gonna leave about this much on the end, start under the sleeve. So that's, I don't know, it's about 3-4 inches. And then as I go around, I will hand, I guess, pleat it as I go around and just sew a straight stitch on top. And then when I get to the end, I will then sew the edges together, leaving some slack with the other end piece, and then finish off the ruffle that way. So I'll just sew them down the edge when I get to the end, and then it'll be done. Don't forget to subscribe and like my video, and make sure you follow along for more DIY upcycle ideas. Also, I'd love to see your creations. Follow me on social media at Freckled Fairy Upcycle and tag me in your photos and videos so I can see what you're up to. My channels are on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I hope to see you there.